Well, how are you, friends? This is Pappy Two Bears again, reaching out to you from Harmony Fire here in the Harmony Lodge. I'm hoping this video finds you all well and in good spirits. And if you're not in good spirits, then take a look at why that might be. Maybe you're allowing yourself to become really wrapped up in a lot of things that don't have to be the way they are. Yeah, we go through some challenging times. It's called life. Being a physical being like we are, we're subject to having some things happen to us. You get old like me, I can trip over the dog laying there that I didn't see because I forgot to turn the light on, and I can have an interesting rest of the day. I just wanted to reach out and just take a few moments to talk about current events and current things that are happening, and I'm sure you've been inundated with just all kinds of information and information overload with what's going on. Okay, and I just wish you all to take everything that is occurring in context. Okay, and don't blow it out of proportion. We're seeing a lot of uh, overreaction, perhaps, or craziness or silliness going on out there, as people become afraid, as people become unsure, as people become anxious about what they're hearing all the time. But these things happen, they go in cycles, and it would behoove most of us to do a little digging into the roots of not only just yourself, but also of uh, our society and of our history. These things have occurred before, and like all things, it it goes through a period of time of tumultuousness or turmoil or something of that nature, and then it will subside. Some people make it through fine, and other people don't. Now, with the current thing that's going on with this virus, um, you have to understand that there's a lot of people out there that are subject to other viruses every year that we don't hear about them. And why don't we hear about them? Because they have become something that is there every year. The regular flu uh, sickens many, many, many people. Other diseases, people that unfortunately die or are injured badly in car accidents, many, many, many things. Okay, so taken in context um, and looking at it that way, it takes on one form that we can say, look, okay, these things have happened before. Well, what's the difference with this one? The difference with this one is because it's new. It's something that hasn't been encountered before, at least in the manner that it's happening now. We're getting an awful lot of coverage about this and some actions and some reactions because of it. But if you take a look at using this as a learning tool about not only your own coping skills, okay, but also survival and your ability to be flexible, then you can start looking at the positive aspects of these same things that have occurred in the past. Much of our learning and things that we do today were based on the lessons of the past. So I'm asking you to take the lessons, uh, from this particular situation and apply it in a good way. Not in a negative way, but in a good way, because applying it in a good way can make a world of difference. A lot of people react a lot of different ways. The cleaning of the shelves in the stores is perplexing to me. And when I see the empty shelves, I see fear. Okay? That's generally what I see. Okay? But there's another aspect of it too, and that's the predators coming out and taking advantage of a situation, uh, to be able to have some form of control, I guess, in their own minds over other people, or in some way adjusting their stature in their own mind. Why people do these sort of things. And it creates an awful lot of energy fluctuations out there that start circulating around, and that stuff can become contagious. It's and it's a toxic form of energy that's been released to live out its life. What is it that you can do as an individual to kind of fight off that toxicity? Well, one of the things that I've found out to do is I've reached out to others. And how did I reach out? Well, I just went down through my phone list and my list of contacts and stuff, and just sent some information out to people. What kind of information? The information that I sent out was that I was interested in how they were doing, and whether or not they could need anything that I could offer as an assistance or whatever. It certainly takes my mind off what's going on in my own particular instance. To be able to reach out and help somebody else, or just the fact that you're remembering them in these times of turmoil, can sometimes be the calming voice that they needed to hear at that time. They've imposed all these little things on us that they call social distancing. And social distancing, in this case, because of the idea of stopping the spread of the virus by keeping people away from each other, has other consequences. And those consequences are that when you social distance people physically, you have to remember that it also can social distance them mentally and emotionally. And it doesn't have to be. As long as we're reaching out to each other and staying in contact with each other and being supportive of each other, okay, and being understanding of each other, now we're putting a different type of energy out there in that pool of murkiness that a lot of people think that they're in. So I'm asking each of you to be energy workers in that own way. And you receive an awful lot back from that. Just in the information that you receive about what's going on in somebody else's life or whatever, especially if you've been sequestered in your home. It would certainly be a lot worse if we didn't have this electronic wonders that I'm talking to you through now, or had our telephones or texting and things of this nature. We have those. We have lots and lots of blessings. If you have extra of something, and you know that you have more than enough of something, is there somebody that doesn't have enough of that perhaps you can offer it to them? Okay? I'm not saying that you should make a business out of that, but I'm saying that it's very possibly a good habit to get into. In times of need, there are those that have. And those that have should be able to give freely. If you feel bad about that, then don't let your left hand know what your right hand is giving away. Give it away with no expectations of anything in return. I call that also part of the giveaway. We've done giveaway fires here to get rid of different things in our lives that we no longer want. Well, this giveaway works under the assumption that when you give away something to someone else and you don't worry about getting payment back, by and by, the law of energy says that you'll get something back in your time of need as well. If you hoard everything, if you've got a room full of toilet paper, how are you walking across the room? You can clutter up your whole life with a whole lot of toilet paper that you may never use. And if you have to use that much toilet paper in your life, then I'm thinking that your life might be a little more crappy than mine. But that's a little levity of the whole situation. So look out for the others. There are people that need help in times, and there are people that can be helper in times. Which one are you? Which one do you want to be? Which one is easier for you to sleep at night when you think of that person? This is Pappy Two Bears. All things pass in their own time. This also will pass. And you'll pass through it, and you'll be a different person on the other side. Embrace the person that you can become. Come back to the fire again sometime. Be glad to sit down and chit chat with you. And until then, look around at the blessings. They're there every day. If you can make blessings in another's world, then you've added to the energy chains, to the goodness. I'll thank you for that. Have a good day, everyone.